Okay, folks, I think we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. We got cut off right at the end of the girls' game, and I apologize for that. So hopefully we can get this whole guys' game in here. The girls ended up winning 53-23. We missed about the last minute of the game. Sarah Reed led all scorers, and for sure the Wildcats. I had, again, unofficially, I had Sarah at 26 points, and then I had Emma Fritcher after that had 11. And then chipping in, again, these are just unofficial totals as far as the girls. So I have Fritcher at 11. And then I also had Emma Treidel had 2. Hannah Kramer had 2. Bailey Weber had 8. And Lacey Hennick had 2, as well as Lexi Hennick had 2. So a lot of different contributors for the Wildcats tonight. And that allows them to get 10 wins on the season. So that's exciting for the Wildcats. It moves them to 10-7. And as I mentioned, they've got a couple road games, and then we'll be home against North Lynn, and then after that it's going to be tournament time. So as that information comes out, we'll get that passed on to everybody. All right, so that's the girls' game. Now we're going to get ready for the guys' game here. And the Wildcat boys, if you've been following, have a super young team, and have struggled to get some wins. They play hard every night, and so you can't fault their effort. It's just a matter of getting some wins. But they are coming into tonight's game after a win over Cedar Valley Christian. So Wildcats are coming in tonight 1-14, and the Edco boys are coming in at 10-3. Just kind of looking at some statistics for the Wildcats. Looks like Marshall Vandevet is leading the Wildcats with 13.7 points a game, followed by Aiden Klosterman, freshman, 9.6 points a game. Marcus Shellhorn, a sophomore, is leading in rebounding. He's got 55 rebounds this year. He's averaging 5 a game, and then Aiden Klosterman's got 50 rebounds. That comes out to be about 4. And so those are kind of some of the statistical leaders for the Wildcats. And Edco's having a pretty good season. They have some quite a few returners back from last season, which they had a pretty good team. And we faced them, I think, 3 times in the regular season. And if I remember right, one of the games went into overtime. And then we beat them. I think we beat them both times in the regular season. One of the games was overtime. And then they did have, then they unfortunately beat us in the district, I think it was the regional round, and knocked us out. So that was an unfortunate event there, but they have quite a few guys back. They're being led by Parker Rochford, Jack Wiskus, and Mason Ashlight are the top 3 scorers for Edco. So that's what the Edco team's done. So they're coming in. They've got some hopes, probably 10-3 to continue on and potentially make it to the state tournament. And so we'll see here what happens as we go. Again, the Wildcat guys are just, looking to get better, and just, kind of get playing a lot of young guys. They're probably going to start. I'm not sure exactly what the starting lineups are going to be. Marshall Vandevet for sure, and Marshall is the only senior. And then obviously we know Aiden Klasserman is going to be starting. We'll see what other, I'm not sure what their whole starting lineup's going to be, but we'll see if we can't get that figured out. We got 6 minutes to go here. One thing I wanted to just talk about again, besides basketball and junior high basketball and wrestling, speech is also going on. And I wanted to give a shout out to last Saturday was some state speech. And special shout out to the choral reading group of Barrett Levenhagen, Cheyenne Fleming, Nora Wayton, and Jamie Hearn, who were selected to advance to state. So it was a performance on Saturday was to advance to state. So congratulations to them. I know Barrett and Nora, and I believe Jamie are all freshmen. And I can't, it's terrible. I can't keep track of all these kids. Cheyenne's either a freshman or a sophomore, so congratulations to them. No matter whatever way you look at it, they're young. And so congratulations and good luck to them as they advance on to state. So got some things, exciting things going on here at Central City besides just basketball happening and wrestling and like I said, junior high basketball. So there's speech and want to give our due to them. Unfortunately, due to COVID, there hasn't been as much with the band and choir as far as some of their competitions. So we aren't able to, celebrate what they can do. But hopefully it'll be back next year and can have a lot of these fun things and be able to celebrate a lot more of what's going on with the Wildcats. So Wildcats come out. We have about 4 minutes to go here, and we're going to get ready for the starting lineups. I think Marcus Shellhorn's probably going to be a starter. I don't want to say something that's not true. They could have changed the lineup a little bit. I know Coach Carlson, after talking to him after a game last week, as I mentioned, a lot of young guys. Marcus Prusman's another one who's out there. I think he was in the starting lineup the other day. It's frustrating that you can't get the wins, but I think we all know just with one senior out there and some injuries to some players that it's been a struggle this season. But like I said, they do play hard, and they're just going to get better as hopefully maybe can be a spoiler when the tournament starts, and then just depending on who they get chosen, and then just get ready over the summer. They've got a lot. They're going to have everybody back, but Marshall and the 8th grade boys. There's definitely some talent with the 8th grade boys, so it'll be interesting to see how they all mesh and how things kind of shake out here in the next few years for the guys team. So it'll be exciting to see their progress. Sometimes you got to have the down years before you can get those up years. So we enjoyed the last 4 years with Nick and some of those players that played with Nick, and had some good players around him. And so it's just kind of one of those years where it's rebuilding, and you want to try to do as much as you can. So anyway, Wildcats are getting their last. We've got about 2 minutes to go here. Wildcats getting their last shots in. Edco's got a really good scorer in that Rochford kid, and I don't know if the Wildcats will come with some kind of a junk defense, or we'll have to wait and see what they do. As far as how they try to stop that. I will say Makai Bennett, he was hurt, and now he is back. I know he broke his wrist, I believe, and I see he does have a brace, so we'll see how much he can contribute. It looks like he's actually taking his jersey off and is going to be starting, so I'll see here. We've got Marshall's going to be starting. Looks like Jack Kramer. Jack is a junior. So it looks like Jack and Makai, freshman, Aiden, freshman, Marshall, senior, and looks like maybe Marcus is in that starting lineup. And Marcus, I believe, is a sophomore. Yes, Marcus is a sophomore, so we've got 2 freshmen, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. So definitely a young team, that's for sure. And like I said, it's just a year of them realizing that they're, just going to be battling every night and getting better and being able to come out and see what happens in the next couple years. So see how they stack up here against Edco.
Welcome to tonight's second game with your Edco Vikings and your Central City Wildcats.
Getting the starting lineups here now.
Vikings lineup, number 14, Parker Rochford. Number 22, Connor Putz. Number 24, Corey Putz. Number 30, Mason Ashline. And number 55, Carson Knipper.
The
And for your Wildcats,
Edco's starting
Marshall Vandebeck.
a senior who's 6'4" and
Number 4, Aiden
way bigger than anybody we have. But here we go with Marshall and Aiden
Kramer.
and Jack.
Number 34, Marcus Shellhorn.
Marcus Shellhorn
And number 40, Makai Benton.
and Makai Benton as a starter. So we'll get a tip off here shortly. All right, Marcus, it looks like he's going to do the jumping for the Wildcats. And we are ready for action. And Marcus gets the jump, and Wildcats will be on offense here. Aiden's got the ball, working it around. Edco's in a 2-3 zone. Marshall skips it over to Jack. They try to get it inside to Marcus. He mishandles the ball, so there's going to be a turnover. There's rolling around on the floor. I thought that might be a travel on Black, but it wasn't. Marcus reaches down and ties it up. Ball's going to go to Edco here. Wildcats are going to be, looks like Wildcats are going to go man-to-man. I'm not sure exactly what defense that is, but the ball is shot, and it goes underneath the basket. Ashline, and hits the bottom of the backboard, and the Wildcats get it and bring it into the front court. Makai Benton with the ball, and he swings it across court to Jack Kramer. To Aiden, back to Jack, skip over to Marshall, to Aiden. Aiden swings it over to Jack Kramer. There's a near steal, but Jack keeps it. He gets it in the corner. Oh, and there's a cross-court pass. Skip pass by Aiden, and it is deflected, and it goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Wildcats. So no score yet. Jack Kramer gets the ball into Marshall, who gets it up to Aiden. And they're going to call body there on, looks like Connor Putz. He's going to pick up the first foul. He's riding Aiden. Edco's in a 2-3 zone like the Central City girls were, and they're really extending that and putting some pressure on. And there's going to be a steal, and they're going to come into the front court, and there's a shot, and it's no good. And good hustle by the Wildcats. There was 3 Wildcats right there to get the rebound, and they kind of knocked into each other, and it goes out of bounds. So it's going to stay with Edco. Edco gets it in. And again, Wildcats are in man-to-man. Trying to figure things out here. And there's going to be a back cut. And Rochford gets his first 2 points of the game. And they're going to do a little bit of a press here, 2-2-1. See if the Wildcats can get through it. And Aiden kind of gets through it and gets the ball knocked, gets it back. And it's going to be a turnover. And Rochford goes up for the shot and misses it. Rebound Wildcats. Aiden has it, and he passes it to Jack Kramer, who's moving, and so it's going to be a turnover. And there's 2 points for Edco, and again, here's the press. And long throw up the floor there. And Makai Benton with the shot, misses, gets his rebound, and he's going to go up again. Oh, and he can't get it to fall. Nice effort there by Makai. Long skip pass up the floor. And the first free throw for Makai is good. He's going to get a second one. And as I mentioned, Makai, there, nice shot by Makai. It's 2 points, so it's 4-2. Makai's coming off a broken wrist, so. And the 2-3 defense, nice hands by Marshall, knocks the ball out of bounds. It's going to stay here with Edco. Out of bounds play, and they catch the Wildcats leaping there, and they get a nice pass in bounds and get 2 points out of that. And there's another long pass up to Makai. And Makai passes it to Marshall before Marshall's in the front court. Makai just needs to relax and let Marshall come and get the ball from him. But so there's going to be a turnover, 6-2, but at least they were able to get that pass up the floor and break the press. So Wildcats are going to go a box and 1 here, sounds like, on Rochford. Aiden's going to be man-to-man on him, and then we're going to go with its zone. We'll see what happens with that. And just like that, Rochford rubs off a pick and knocks down a 3, so it's 9-2. Whoa. And Wildcats are trying these long, crazy passes, and then they're doing an over and back. So that's the second over and back there. Nice hustle, though, but second over and back. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Next Bank. What are you saving for? Whether it's retirement, your child's education, a new car, or just a rainy day, Next Bank has the right savings account for whatever's next for you. Next Bank is committed to help you achieve what's next for your financial dreams. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, so that was just a quick timeout here. It's 9-2 with about 4:27 left. Edco's ball. Looks like Wildcats are going to try to stay in that 2-3 zone, or I'm sorry, box and one. And they work it over to Rochford. He passes it inside, tipped away by Marcus Shellhorn, and Marshall Vandevet comes up with the ball. And Wildcats get it into the front court, and there's a pass over to Aiden Klosterman, and he mishandles it, but he's able to save it. Gets it to Marcus. Then they get it to Marshall. Marshall's going to drive, kicks it back out to Jack Kramer. Jack, cross-court pass to Aiden, nearly stolen. They get it to Marshall. Working the ball around, Jack Kramer's got it, and he goes to pass, and it's stolen. They're going to come up. There's Rochford, and he loses control, and the ball's going to go out of bounds, I believe. Their full court press, the Wildcats. And they break the press and they get it to Mackay Benton, and Mackay knocks down a two-pointer. So it's 4-9 with 3:30 to go here in the first half, or first quarter, I'm sorry. Wildcats are going to just go, looks like just straight man-to-man. I'm not sure what we're doing here. Yeah, maybe, and there, Edco moves it around, they miss it. Mackay with the rebound, gets it to Jack Kramer. Jack gets it to Marshall. Marshall gets it up in the front court. There's Marcus. He gets it to Aiden. Aiden's checking things out. And again, Edco's playing a really aggressive 2-3 zone, really stretching things out, kind of like what the girls did in the second half, especially the Central City girls did, especially in the second half of their game. There's a nice look inside, but it's stolen by Edco. They're going to come the other way, and he's going to go coast to coast, and I think that's a putz. And they're going to call foul. And that's going to be the first foul on the Wildcats. And that's going to be on, I'll have to see, it's number 34. Yep, Marcus has got his first foul. And the free throw is good. All right, ball's in the front court, and it's a long skip pass, and Rochford with the near steal knocks it out of bounds. Wildcats are going to take it out right in front of the bench. Aiden gets it in, checking things out, passing it back and forth between him and Marshall. They skip it over to Jack. Jack's looking, gets it to Marshall. Ooh, and then there's a deflection and a steal, and Edco takes it up and puts it in. So 13-4 Wildcats. Edco's pulled off their full court press. Now they're kind of doing a half court press. They're really just being aggressive out of their 2-3 zone. There's going to be another turnover. And the ball's into the front court, and they stop and pop. And there's 2 more points. So now the Wildcats, again, bringing it up. Again, Edco's doing a half court, really aggressive 2-3 zone. They get it to Marcus at the elbow. Marshall with the runner. A little baseline move and a runner for Marshall. Edco's right back up. They get it over to Putz, and he has a shot. He misses. Marshall gets it into the front court, goes around, and again, there's another runner. Nothing there this time. And we're going to come back the other way. Edco gets it to Rochford on 3-point, no good. Short, but he gets his own rebound. It's deflected by Marcus Shellhorn. It's going to go out of bounds. We've got Castor Abernathy checking in. And there's going to be a long three, no good. And rebounded by Edco. They're fumbling it around, and they're going to call foul. That was a kind of a touch foul there, but they're going to get, is that Castor? Yep, they're going to get Castor with his first foul. Free throw is good. And he's got one more free throw. And it is good. So the Wildcats are going to take it in. Now they've pushed their press back up here, 6-17. They're doing a 2-1-2 press. Oh, and Marshall tries to do a long pass, and it's deflected, and Edco's going to come back, and then it's knocked out of his hands. It looks like, was that Jack or Aiden kind of deflected the pass away from Rochford, and they're going to call foul on, on Edco, so that's their third team foul, 17-6. And into the front court, it's Jack Kramer. He's got it. Bounces it over to Marshall. Marshall's checking things out. We've got 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Aiden has it over in the far corner. Get it to Mackay at the elbow. He swings it over to Jack. Jack isn't able to do anything. Marshall gets it back into Mackay. Mackay thinks he's hitting a cutting Aiden Klosterman, but Aiden didn't cut. And Rochford takes it in and misses. And so after one quarter, it is 17-6. Edco's up. Mackay Benton leading the way for the Wildcats here. And we'll give a shout out here to Next Bank. What's next on your list of financial goals? Wherever you're going next, Next Bank has a loan that's right for you. Your next car, your next home, even your next adventure, all are within reach with a Next Bank loan. Convenient locations in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Yeah, the Edco kind of started out here with the full court press, and then they've pulled it off, but they're really being aggressive with their half court 2-3 zone. They're meeting them at half court, and they're long. The top defenders and the wing players, they're real long, and the Wildcats are just having a hard time moving the ball around here. So looks like we've got a couple subs. Aiden Klosterman's got a banged up knee here. He's getting, it was bleeding, so he's out. So Jaden Hansen has checked in. So it's Jaden Hansen, Jack Kramer, Marshall Vandevet, Castor Abernathy, and Mackay Benton in for the Wildcats. And right now on the floor we've got three freshmen, a junior and a senior. So really, really young Wildcat team. They're doing a good job of moving the ball right now. Marshall dribbles, passes it back to Jack. Edco's has a really good defense. They're really long, and the Wildcats are having a hard time getting any good outside looks. Their ball is knocked away and tracked down by Edco, and Edco converts on the other end. So again, Edco just extending that 2-3 zone. Wildcats are bringing it into the front court, making some passes. Jack Kramer over to Marshall. Marshall looks to drive down the baseline, nothing there. Jack Kramer's going to drive, gets it to Castor. Castor looked to try to get it into Mackay, but it hit off of the leg of the Edco defender, so goes out of bounds. And it is going to stay with the Wildcats. We've got Aiden Klosterman checking back in. Jack Kramer's going to take the ball out of bounds. And there's Marshall, sees him a little late. He gets it to Marcus Shellhorn, and Marcus can't get the shot to drop. And Wildcats come back on D. Edco, there's a steal by Marcus. Good job, Marcus. Good defense. And right like that, Edco's defense is extended, right, even off of a turnover and a missed basket. So they're very, very talented here on defense. They're really pushing us out of where we need to be. Jack Kramer with the jump shot, air ball, no good, rebounded by Edco, but then stolen right back by Marshall. And Marshall's going to bring it in, and he's dribbling around. He gets it to Jaden Hansen in the corner. That's not where you want to be. And there's going to be a turnover. Jack Kramer hustles back, but Edco's able to lay it up off the glass. Wildcats get it into the front court here. Marcus has it. Right idea, but he didn't want to pass it. It's 21-6, 5:40 to go in the second quarter. And there's a wide open look for Edco. That's too easy on defense. Coach Carlson's going to call a timeout. That's not the defense that you want right there, the effort that you want. So he's going to call a timeout, give some of his guys a breather here. And then we'll get back at it. I'll go ahead and give Next Bank another shout out. What's next on your list of financial goals? Wherever you're going next, Next Bank has a loan that's right for you, your next car, your next home, even your next adventure. All are within reach with the Next Bank loan. Convenient locations in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right. The Wildcats actually, they're just being, Edco, that's probably one of the best defenses that I've seen. They really extend that defense and make it hard for the Wildcats. They're not pressing, but it's almost like a half-court press there. So really aggressive defense. For sure, that's really giving the Wildcats some issues here. So it's good. I don't know what we're waiting on here. Wildcats going to have the ball here. It's 5:30, 6:24. Wildcats are getting it into the front court. And Marshall has it, and he gives a cross-court pass to Jack Kramer. Jack gets it, and just wherever we go, it's almost like there's one or two players on us. Now Aiden Klosterman's trapped, but he's able to get through the trap and gets it over to Marshall. Marshall to Mackay. Mackay back out to Aiden. Then a pass to Jack, tipped. Mackay Benton gets it, then he kicks it out to Marshall. Marshall's not able to do anything, and then Aiden's pass is stolen. The layup is no good. Good hustle back by the Wildcats. Get the rebound, Marcus Shellhorn. Wildcats are going to bring it up here. Again, they're not being full court press, and Edco's just doing there's a good look. Edco's they're just really long on defense and really giving fits to the Wildcats. Jack Kramer with the shot. It's an air ball, no good. Had a decent look at it. So now the Wildcats are going to kind of bring up their defense a little bit. 24-6. They're going to do a little bit of a press of their own, it looks like. And they're trapping. See if they can get a steal out of this or a deflection or something. Wildcats trapping. Now they're going to drop back in. 2-3 zone, it looks like. And there's a miss. Rebound by Edco. And good hustle by Marshall with the steal. Gets it up to Jack Kramer, and then Jack throws it away, trying to hit a streaking Aiden Klosterman down the floor, but just wasn't there. And now Edco's going to pull it back out here a little bit. Looks like the Wildcats are in man-to-man, and number 22, I think that's a Putz, takes it all the way and knocks it down. Marshall's bringing it up and gets it to Aiden. Aiden drives, throws up a shot, no good. Almost rebounded by Mackay, but he wasn't able to keep control of it, so it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Edco's ball. We're at 3:34 left in the second quarter. It's 6-26. Wildcats haven't scored yet this second quarter. Looking for their first bucket. And there's a steal by Jack Kramer, and he's no good on the rebound or on the layup. And then good defense there by Marcus, knocks it away, but isn't able to get the steal or the rebound, and it's kept alive by Edco. They're working around on the perimeter, and they're let fly a three-pointer, and it's not there. And Jack Kramer gets the rebound. There's a pass down the corner. Oh, right idea. Pass down the corner to Marcus. They were trying to do a short corner and get it into Mackay, but good defense on Edco. I'll just say Edco's got a nice defense, and it's really, really struggling. The Wildcats are to get anything going here on offense. They get it down low, then they hit a cutter. And I think he traveled, but they're not going to call the travel. They're going to say there was a foul on the floor first, I believe. And I'm not sure. 21. Jack Kramer picks up his first foul. So that's 3 team fouls on the Wildcats, 3 team fouls on Edco, and now somebody on the Wildcats just picked up a foul. Looks like might be Marcus. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, Marcus just picked up his second foul. So Edco is going to go to the free throw line, and they knock down their first free throw. Again, Wildcats looking here. They had 6 points in the first quarter and haven't been able to score here in the second. Marcus is going to go down, sit down with 2 fouls, and Mackay Benton's going to check back in. And the second free throw is good. So Marcus Prusman has also checked in. So it's Marcus and Prusman, Aiden Klosterman, Marshall Vandevet, and then we have Mackay Benton, and also there's Mackay, and there's a three-pointer by Aiden, no good. Troy Curtis has also checked in for the Wildcats, and the three-pointer was no good, and now they're going to call a foul on 4, which is Aiden. So just like that, the Wildcats went from 2 team fouls to now we have 5 team fouls. There's a long three-pointer, no good. Wildcats can't get the rebound. Edco has it. They're going to throw up another shot, no good. Troy Curtis with the rebound. A lot of reaching going on. Troy clears it to Marcus Prusman, who gets it to Aiden. Aiden's going to bring it up the floor. He passes it to Mackay. Mackay looks at Troy Curtis, who's down low, but can't get it there, and then there's going to be a turnover. And there's a layup. Nothing's there. And Wildcats clear. So 28-6. We've got a minute and a half to go in the second quarter. Wildcats looking for their first points of the second quarter. Edco's just got a stifling defense. There's Mackay. Yeah, Mackay at the elbow. He knocks down a jumper there. Gives us the first 2 points of the second quarter. Edco's working it around. We're under a minute to go here. And they're going to call travel on Edco. The Wildcats are down 28-20. They're battling, you know. They just can't. The defense has just been really stifling, and they just haven't been able to get any good looks even. Their shooting percentage probably isn't great, but they just haven't had a lot of shots either. So Edco's extending that 2-3 zone. We've got 45 seconds left. Wildcats get it in, and then Aiden's going to just take off and throw it up and goes between a couple Vikings, and he gets his first 2 points of the game. Aiden, the second leading scorer for Wildcats. And there's going to be a rebound. Shot's no good. Klosterman with the rebound. And near steal by Edco, but it goes out of bounds, so it's going to stay with the Wildcats. We got 19 seconds left in the second quarter. Aiden's got the ball, and again, Edco's in that 2-3 aggressive zone. Now they've went to like a 1-3-1, it almost looks like. And Jack's gonna, no, I thought Jack was gonna shoot it. There's 3 seconds left, but it looked like he thought he had a pass across to Marcus Prusman, but it got knocked out of bounds. So it'll be Wildcats basketball, 3 seconds. They're taking the ball out underneath their basket. Troy Curtis checks in quick. And Troy's right there. They get it into Aiden, and Aiden's gonna have to let it fly. He gets a shot off. Ooh. Kind of an awkward shot, but he got it off, and it was close, but nothing going there for the Wildcats. So at halftime, it's 10-28. Wildcats get a flurry of points right there in about the last minute, so it gets them up to 10. And they hold to Edco to 11 points in that second quarter. So the Wildcats are they're struggling offensively, but I tell you what, they're battling and they're hanging tight out there. That's for sure. Unofficially, I've got Marshall with 2 points. He had a little runner. Aiden had a nice layup. He sliced down through that defense. And then Mackay's had 2 free throws and 2 field goals. So Mackay's leading with 6 points for the Wildcats. Aiden with 2 and Marshall with 2. So that's kind of the scoring here for the Wildcats. Again, just really solid defense by Edco. I always want to take this opportunity, as you know, Next Bank is the sole sponsor for this broadcast, and we wouldn't be able to bring this to you if it wasn't for them. And but I always also like to talk about the other things that Next Bank does for Central City community and the schools. They sponsor a movie night for the community. They donate to the PTO's Children in Need Fund that we have here at school. They usually provide a luncheon either in the spring or the fall for the staff when we have some professional development. They obviously are the sole sponsor for our Wildcat Sports channel. They do all the programs, typesetting and printing for any programs for volleyball, football, basketball, wrestling, and if we host a track meet, they do all of that for the Wildcats. They donate or help with the homecoming parade. They help with post-prom. They support the fine arts boosters, the robotics team. They they're one of the sponsors for the yearbook. They also have a sponsor sign in the Wildcat baseball field, and they help with the mental health and community resources night in the community of Cedar Rapids. So I always like to point those out, and if you're an avid listener, you've heard me say that before, and if you're new, we just always like to make sure everybody knows how much we appreciate Next Bank. We wouldn't be able to do this without them. So anyway, we're at halftime. There's about 7 minutes left in halftime. Wildcats are down 28-10. As I mentioned, the scoring in the first half was Mackay Benton with 6. Aiden Klosterman has 2, and Marshall Vandervet has 2. A lot of young guys out there playing. And Wildcats were able to get 1 win against Cedar Valley, which I know was probably exciting for them. It makes a big difference. They knew tonight was going to be a buzzsaw, and I did have the schedule for the Wildcats. So the Wildcats, I talked about the girls. The girls will be done next week, and then they will start their tournament trail. The boys, as well, have some of those same teams left. So they have to play Mac Valley at Mac Valley. And then they're East Buchanan at East Buck. Then they do have North Lynn at home. And then they will finish their season on February 9th at Springville. They've got to go to Springville, and that's where they'll finish out. And then later that week or the following week in February after that last game, then the boys will start their tournament trail. And again, I should have copied this down. I didn't. We know the 8 teams that are in our bracket but you won't find out who you play until the after the last regular season game, and then they kind of, for the boys, they kind of seed it. They tell you what teams you potentially could be playing, so the coaches can kind of start. They can start scouting those teams, but they won't know who they play until, again, the final season, and it's based on records. So that's why they have to wait. And then out of those 8 teams, I believe, like the team with the best record will play the team with the worst record, and then they'll go, so 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, and then 4-5 kind of plays. So that's kind of how they do that for the boys, which is a little different than what they do for the girls. And the girls just will announce the brackets. You don't have any idea of who you're playing or where you're playing, and they don't necessarily, I don't know, the boys came out here. Oh, yeah, they're getting there. There's about 4 minutes to go here. I guess there's not really much to say. I mean, the Wildcats are, you know, they've got turnovers. They're trying to make the skip passes. They're trying to make the right passes and stuff. It's just that, you know, Edco, you got to give your hats off. They're just a little more athletic, probably position by position. They're long. They've got some really athletic guys, and they're just really causing us a lot of problems on offense. It isn't like we can't, you know, that we're not working hard. It's just they're really putting us in you know, they're just making it really, really hard on us. So hopefully Wildcats can get something figured out. They came out, they're getting some looks here for some shots. And see if they can get some good looks. So here comes Edco. So we've got about 3.5 minutes here before halftime ends. Again, the Wildcats had 6 points in the first quarter, and then they scored 4 points right there in about the last minute and a half in the second quarter to give them 10 points. Edco came out with 17 points in the first quarter, and then they ended up with 11. They ended up with 11 points in the second quarter to give them 28. So it's 28-10. Edco really hasn't shot the ball. The Wildcats are making it difficult on Edco, and they're not really getting a lot of shots knocked down and stuff like that. And the Wildcats, you know, for the most part, aren't giving up a ton of offensive rebounds. I'm not going to say that Edco hasn't had some second and third shots, but not a ton that I can recall. So the Wildcats are just really having a hard time getting shots off on their end of the floor. So I would like to see maybe Aiden was able at one point to drive down through there. Marshall had a little runner. I'd like to see them maybe potentially see if they can do some kind of that penetration and get some looks that way. We'll see what kind of thing they came up with at halftime. So again, we're getting our last shots in here. It's 10-28. We're at halftime, and we'll have the second half coming your way here shortly. If you just joined me, or if you didn't listen to the girls' game, I'll just repeat this: is the fact that we had some kind of exciting news for the Wildcat girls wrestlers. There's girls state now. I think they started that last year or maybe 2 years ago, and where they have a little mini state tournament just for the girl wrestlers, and we had 2 participants go up that way. Eva Owens is a senior. She's been out for wrestling for 4 years, and last year she finished 7th in her weight division, and this year she moved up and finished 5th in her weight division out of 60 wrestlers. So that was a fantastic improvement for Eva, and congratulations to her. And then also we have another female wrestler, Lexi Hennick, And Lexi participated. She's a freshman this year, and she participated in the state meet for girls, and she finished 7th in her age bracket. Or I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say age. Her weight bracket, and also out of over 60 participants in her weight bracket. And if I said age for Evas, I'm sorry about that. But their weight brackets, each of them participated and had over 60 girls participating in those 2 different weight brackets. So congratulations to Lexi and Eva, and it's exciting to see that sport grow for the girls. And actually Lexi plays basketball, and she got to play tonight here in the second half and ended up scoring 2 points. So Lexi's doing both wrestling and basketball, and good for her. All right, so we are getting ready to start the second half. The Wildcats are going to go with the same starters: Marcus Shellhorn, Makai Benton, Jack Kramer, I already said Marcus Prusman, Marshall Vandevet, and Aiden Klosterman. Looks like the Wildcats are going to start in that box and one on that Rochford, who is the leading scorer for Edco. And they're going to start with that box and one, and there's a shot, but it's no good. And good hustle by Edco. Thought Marcus nearly had the ball, and it got knocked out of his hands, and then Marcus causes a turnover. Good hustle on Edco to track down the ball off of that rebound, and then they got kind of trapped in the corner, and Marcus was able to knock it out of their hands, and it's going to be Wildcat basketball. And now it looks like they did this right before halftime. Edco went into a 1-3-1, and so that's what they're at now, is a 1-3-1. So I think we're going to be able to get some shots. Yeah, there's Marshall. He's going to bury a 3, so he comes out right just like that. We almost have as many points as we did in the second quarter, but then just like that, Edco beat us back down the field, or back down the court, and gets a basket, and now Wildcats are trying to get it into the front court. And there's Jack Kramer, and he gets it to Aiden, and Aiden gets it over to Makai Benton, and he has a nice little 10-foot shot there, and Makai knocks that down. So good job by the Wildcats getting some confidence, talking things over, and 22 takes it in, and he stops, and that's an out of bounds. Yeah, good defense by Marshall to stop the shot, and then the loose ball is tracked down by Edco, but he was out of bounds. Wildcats are going to bring it back, so now it looks like Edco's going to go back to that 2-3, and there's a long three-pointer by Marshall, and the bank is open tonight. Marshall banks that baby in, and we'll take it. And Marshall's got 6 quick points here, and Wildcats have 8 points already in the third quarter, so 18-30. Wildcats are just battling. Edco just not getting shots to drop. And I'm not going to lie, the officials are letting a lot go, so I don't know if that's hurting or helping the Wildcats. There's a shot from the wing, and it's no good. Tracked down by Edco. They're in the corner, and Rochford finds an open teammate, and nice job by him, and they get 2 points right there. So now Edco is extending their press, and Wildcats clear it. Jack Kramer's got the ball. He's going to drive. That's what we talked about. And Jack's kind of threw up a runner. Didn't really look like he wanted to shoot it, but then he did. That's where I think you can find is that opening in the middle of that zone. And Edco comes back down and gets a shot. So 18-34. Wildcats down, working hard. Get the ball into the front court. They get it to Makai. He's about 10 foot, and he's had that same spot, but this time he shoots an air ball. Edco brings it into the front court. Rochford crosses it over to a Putz, and he looks, but there's nothing there. He gets it to his brother, and then they move the ball around. There's going to be an outside shot. No good, and they're going to say foul on the rebound there. 55, I'm pretty sure, for Edco with the push. So Wildcats are going to go the other way now. Edco is moving up the press to full court. It's 2-2-1 full court press, so we'll see if the Wildcats can handle this. And Marshall just passes it all the way over half court. And now we have it in the front court. And here comes that aggressive defense on those top two. Wildcats pass it back and forth. Klosterman gets it over to Marshall. Again, this is where I'd like to see if there would be some kind of a penetration because their middle is wide open. They get it to Mackay at the elbow. He turns and shoots. It's short, but he fouls his shot. Can't get it. Tried to keep it alive, but he didn't. And we're going to come back the other way here. Edco's moving the ball around on the perimeter, and Rochford goes in, misses his shot, get the offensive rebound, and Rochford goes up again, and he misses, but he's going to go to the free throw line. It's 18-34. Edco's up. We're at 4 minutes to go here in the 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. We got Jaden Hansen checking in, and Marcus Shellhorn's going to sit out. So the second shot is good. Again, now that press is extended, 2-2-1, 18-36. Aiden gets it into Jack. Jack passes it to Jason Hansen. He goes up for the shot, and it's blocked. And just like that, Edco's back on the other end, but it's blocked out of bounds by Aiden Klosterman. It'll stay with Edco. They'll take it out underneath their basket. That was a quick, Edco's gotten a couple of those where they get down, and there's just your little picker out of bounds play, and the Wildcats fell asleep, and they got 2 points on that, Edco did. 18-38, that 2-2-1 full court press, and then again, there's another long pass, and there's gonna be a foul on Edco. They get it up to Mackay. He hits Jaden Hansen, who's cutting to the basket, and an Edco guy pushed Jaden, and so the Wildcats are going to take the ball out of bounds. Jaden gets it into Marshall. Marshall bounce passes it to Mackay. He turns, and his hand is hit as he's passing, so it's going to be deflected and picked off by Edco, and they're going to take it the other way, and there's a layup, and that's going to be a foul on Jack Kramer. That's going to be Jack's second foul. And that's the second team foul for the Wildcats. So both teams this half have 2 fouls, so nobody's in foul trouble. Jack has 2, and Marcus Shellhorn has 2 for the Wildcats. It's 18-41, and looks like Marcus is checking back in, and Jaden Hansen's going to sit out. Again, Edco's going back to that full court 2-2-1 press. Wildcats are patient and get it up in the front court, and we kind of got saved there. Marshall was going to pass it, and Mackay left, but Edco kicked it, so it's going to stay with the Wildcats. Wildcats are going to get it inbounds. Jack Kramer drives, kicks it to Marshall. Marshall's in the wing. Oh, three-pointer goes in and out. Got a good look at that. Edco's going to bring it into the front court. Wildcats go straight up man-man. And there's a kick by Marshall. Goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with Edco. So 2:50 to go in the third quarter. It's 18-41. Edco's up. They get it in. Marshall's defending the ball, pulls up for a jump shot, air ball, and Aiden Klosterman runs it down, and he's spins, and he's got the ball knocked out of his hands, picks it back up, gets it into the front court, and Edco's staying in that a really aggressive 2-3 zone. Mackay gets it at the elbow there. He's hit one of those earlier. He misses. Ball's kept alive by Marcus, and Marshall is going to reset. Jack Kramer's got the ball. They hit Mackay at the elbow. I'd like to see Mackay, go in and out, and then maybe back into him. And now they swing it over to Aiden Klosterman, and Aiden lets a three-pointer fly, no good. And there's Jack Kramer with the offensive rebound, and he hits Marcus Shellhorn under the basket, and Marcus gets his first 2 points of the game tonight. Good hustle there by Jack Kramer. Edco gets it inside, working on Marcus. Shot, turn, no good. And Edco tracks down the offensive rebound, and there goes the shot again, no good. Knocked around, and Edco gets it, and they're going to call Jack with the foul. So that's going to be Jack's third foul here. So looks like they're going to leave Jack in. At this point, you got 1:42 left in the third quarter. It's 20-43. Edco's going to go to the free throw line for one shot, and it's no good, and Marcus is going to get the rebound. And Marshall's going to penetrate right through the press. He loses it. Aiden Klosterman gets it, and he double dribbled. He was going to pass, and then he saw that he could take one more dribble, and unfortunately he then double dribbled there. All right, we've got a minute, 20 seconds to go. Wildcats. It looks like they're going to go a box and one. They got Marcus Prusman in. There's the shot. It's no good. Marshall Vandervet gets the rebound, gets it over to Aiden. Aiden gets it up to Marcus Shellhorn. Marcus is in the corner looking for something. Marshall cuts. Nothing there. The ball's tipped. Marcus Prusman, who's checked in. Good hustle by Marcus, goes and gets the ball. So now Marshall has it. He bounce passes it to Marcus. Marcus gets a bounce pass, tries to get it into Mackay. Right idea, but it's just knocked out of bounds. Ball's going to be into the front court. Again, Wildcats in that box and one. Marcus Prusman's on Rochford, Edco's leading scorer, and he gives it up, and they get it inside, and they're going to call something on the floor before the shot. They're going to call Aiden with the body with the push. So that's going to be Aiden Klosterman's second foul. And Troy Curtis is going to check in for Marcus. There's a shot, hits, no good. Mackay almost had the rebound. It hit off of him, and then there's the shot from the corner. And now here's some of those rebounds. I was just talking about this at the beginning, at halftime, that I hadn't really noticed. 22, man, he was pulling. I didn't think they were going to call that. So there's a foul on the floor. That's the third team foul on Edco, 4 for Wildcats. We've got 9 seconds. Let's see, they pass it to Aiden. 5, he gets it in the corner to Troy. Troy with the shot, it's blocked. And there's nothing's gonna happen with that. So after 3 quarters, it is 20-43. Edco's up. So both teams come out and score a few points here in the second half. In the third quarter, I should say. I'm going to give a shout out here to Next Bank. Next Bank is invested in their communities and ready to help the local economy grow by helping your business or farm operation grow. Whether you need an operating loan, equipment loan, livestock loan, or real estate loan, Next Bank has great terms and rates that will help you move your business to the next level. Next Bank offices are located in Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Central City, and Coralville. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, so we're going into the fourth quarter, and it's 20-43. Wildcats are really, Edco's just struggling from the line tonight, and the Wildcats are just not able to score. Edco's defense is just really kind of really taking it out of the Wildcats. They've been kind of going between a really aggressive 2-3 zone. They've been doing some full court press. They've played just a little bit of man-to-man. But their 2-3 zones, they really extend it. And it's just really caused the Wildcats a lot of problems. So we're starting the fourth quarter here. The Wildcats have the ball. It's 20-43. Aiden Klosterman tries to dribble. It hits the foot of the Edco player and goes out of bounds. So it looks like it's going to be Wildcats basketball. Jack Kramer's going to pass it in. They get it into Aiden in the back court. He brings it into the front court. Jack has it. They get it to the elbow of Marcus. He swings it over to Marshall, who has a good look at a three-pointer, but he can't get it to drop. Edco's going to come the other way. They've done a really good job of pushing the ball up every once in a while. And Rochford's going to drive to the basket, and Marshall's going to knock it out of bounds. And there's going to be a basket by Edco. Nice out of bounds play. Jack's got it, gets it to Marshall, gets it into Aiden, who gets it into the front court. Marshall has it. And Marshall, they need to kind of look. There's Aiden with the shot, three-pointer. There's Aiden's first three-pointer of the night. First points in the second half. Nice job. And then Edco comes right back, misses it. Troy Curtis with the rebound. Marshall's got it. He splits the defenders. He's in the front court, and he's going to, right idea. He maybe could have pulled up for a little jump shot right in front of the rim, but he tried to get it to Troy Curtis, and good hustle by Edco. We come back the other way, and there's going to be a turnover on Edco. There's travel. So 6:43 to go. We got 23-45. Still a little bit of a full court press there. Skip to Aiden. And Aiden, he gets it to Marcus, to Marshall. They're just kind of, then there's a cross court pass. And there's going to be a steal. And they get it into the front court. Rochford gets it in. There's a travel. They don't call anything. And they're going to get it outside to a Putz, and he knocks down a three. So 23-48, 6:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Wildcats down. Wildcats get it into the front court. Again, that extended 2-3 zones really caused the problems for the Wildcats. There's going to be I don't know if, they're going to probably call a foul on that. 30, going for the steal, plowed over Marshall. Jaden Hansen's going to check in, give Jack Kramer a breather. And Mackay's back in. So we got Aiden and Mackay and Marshall and Marcus and Jaden Hansen. We got Marshall gets it up to Aiden, and then he flips it over to Hansen. Jaden Hansen gets it to Mackay at the elbow. Mackay's thinking about it. He puts it on the floor, and unfortunately the Edco guy's going to steal that, and the Putz takes it all the way in. Should have probably given it up, but he didn't, and he misses. Rebounded by Edco, but taken away by Marcus Shellhorn with the steal. Wildcats are going to come the other way, and they're going to call a foul on one of the Putz brothers out there. And there's going to be a timeout by the Wildcats with 5:14 to go. That's the third foul on the Putz, and 5 team fouls for Edco and 4 on the Wildcats here in the second half. 48-23. Again, here's going to be I'll give another shout out to Next Bank. Next Bank combines the values of a locally owned independent Eastern Iowa community bank with expanded services and the latest technology to meet our customers' fast-moving lifestyle. Bank on your success with Next Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right. So Wildcats are playing tight against one of the top teams behind North Lynn and Springville. Edco's right there, and the Wildcats are hanging tough here tonight, 23-48. We're in a timeout right now. It's going to be Wildcat basketball here. Jaden Hansen's going to take it out of bounds. See if they can draw something up and get a bucket off of this out of bounds play. There goes Marshall. He kind of bobbles the ball. He's gets it out to Aiden Klosterman on the, almost another banked three-pointer. No good, and Makai Benton working hard, got an offensive rebound, put it up, couldn't get it to drop, so Edco's gonna come the other way. And there's a nice pass inside. Jaden Hansen just lost track that there's somebody behind him. So there's 2 points for Edco. Wildcats bringing it up. Edco drops back into that aggressive half-court 2-3 zone that they've been playing for the majority of the night. And they get it inside to Mackay, and he kind of bobbles it and caught the ball and put it up. No travel, not sure about that, but 25-50 here, Wildcats. Working hard, 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There's a pass inside again. Marcus fell asleep that time. They're getting their players just right in behind us, and I don't know if there's not some communication, but that's two just players that got behind the Wildcat defenders and got a couple easy layups there. So Wildcats are coming back here on the attack. Nice fake by Aiden, and he kind of slipped out of his hands, and Marcus got it, and then he gets it over to Mackay, and Mackay shoots it, but the ball hits the rim and bounces over the backboard. So it is going to be, it's going to be Edco's ball. Edco gets it in the front court, checking things out. Looks like Wildcats, Coach Carlson's just said, we're going to go man-to-man so we don't have to worry about losing guys. And Rochford gets a three-pointer to fall. Wildcats getting it into the front court. Aiden Klosterman tries to go. Ouch. Fell right on his knees. And they call the foul on Edco on that. So it's going to be a foul on the floor, though, unfortunately. And Coach Carlson's taking the starters out. He's got Castor Abernathy's coming in. Marcus Prusman's in. You got Christopher Greif, Troy Curtis, and Jaden Hansen's going to stay out on the floor. And Edco's bringing in some of their subs. They still got a starter. Number 55, I'm pretty sure, started at the beginning of the game, so he's in. But I will say that they don't have a deep bench. They've got 10 guys, that's it. So Castor's going to pass it in. He gets it into Marcus. Marcus takes a dribble and banks it off the glass just about, but can get it to fall. So Edco's going to come into the front court. Wildcats are in a 2-3 zone. Some are anyway, and some aren't. I'm not sure what we're doing there. There's a shot, no good. Christopher Greif with the rebound, gets it to Jaden Hansen. Jaden Hansen's going to bring it into the front court. There's Castor. And they get it inside, but Troy can't handle it. So they're going the other way. And Edco's just working it around. Wildcats, I think they did go back to a man-to-man here. There's 2:20 to go, and they're going to call, I think, 3 seconds in the lane on Edco. So good defense by the Wildcats. And the starter, number 55, is going out. So Edco stays in that aggressive 2-3 zone. There's a pass to Castor. He gets it back to a cutting Jaden Hansen, and they're going to call foul on Edco. That's going to be their 7th foul. So Jaden's going to go to the free throw line for an opportunity to get a couple points for the Wildcats. And Jaden's first free throw is long. Rebounded by Edco. Edco comes into the front court. We have 2 minutes to go here, 25-55. There's a pass inside, shot, no good. Rebound by Edco. a lot of reaching, and Edco puts up the shot, no good, and they're going to say that it stays with Edco. Edco's looking to get it in. He gets it in and it goes up for, oh, they're going to call foul, I think, on Castor. I thought the guy lost the ball on his own, but Castor was right there with the hand on him. Let's see if that's who they're, pretty sure that's 22. That'll be, actually, did they call that? Does it? They either called it on, yeah, Castor. They must have called it on Castor. So that's his second foul. 5th team foul for the Wildcats. And the free throw's good. Jaden Hansen's going to bring it up. Again, Edco's not pressing, but they have a super aggressive 2-3 zone, and they really extend it. And there's a crazy shot by Marcus Prusman, and he's going to get fouled, and he's going to go to the free throw line. So Marcus has a chance to get his name in the scorebook here. And Marcus's free throw is no good. Marcus's second free throw is no good as well. Tipped by Christopher Greif and then picked up by Marcus, but he gets in the corner and isn't able to do anything with it. And, oh, that was just no foul, let him play, but they're gonna, Marcus tried to get a steal coming up from behind, and he kind of tripped and fell, and they're gonna call him for the foul. I just thought that was nothing, really. So we've got a minute and a half to go. Pass inside and dump down low, and there's going to be a block by Castor, offensive rebound by Edco. And on the putback, it's good and a foul, so Edco's going to go to the line for an and one, 59-25 here with 1:17 left. And there's a foul on the rebound, and so Castor's going to now go to the free throw line on the other end. So 1:16 here. Castor's going to have an opportunity to get a couple buckets here, a couple points for the Wildcats. And Castor's first free throw is good. Knocked it down. And Castor's second free throw is good. So there's 2 points for Castor tonight. Right like that. Edco's in the front court. And there's a turn, no good. And again, an offensive rebound, and they're going to call a foul. And Coach Carlson's just saying straight up, straight up. 55's the tallest guy on the floor by about 4 inches. So 27:59, we have 1:08 to go. Edco's going to go to the line. There's 8 team fouls on the Wildcats, 9 team fouls on Edco. That foul, I believe, was on Jaden Hansen. So he has a foul there. And the second free throw is good. So Jaden Hansen's got the ball. He's going to bring it up. And again, Edco's just really extending that 2-3 zone and just kind of causing all kinds of problems for the Wildcats. Christopher Greif penetrates the top of the 2-3 zone, and then he loses the ball, and then he's going to get called for a foul. So it's turning into a foul fest here. And unfortunately, that puts, you can't fault the hustle, but unfortunately with Christopher, that's going to put the Edco at the free throw line, and it's 9 team fouls for both Edco and for the Wildcats. And now there's a foul on Edco on the rebound. And so now we're going to go to the other end. This looks familiar. Am I in Groundhog's Day? Because now Castor's back at the free throw line. Just exactly what happened the last time. So Castor gets to go to the free throw line, and he misses this time. And it's 2 fouls, so he missed the first one. There's some confusion there. So it's 10 fouls on Edco, so that's automatically double bonus there for the Wildcats. And the second one goes in and out, so Castor's 2 for 4 tonight from the free throw line. Under a minute here. It'd be nice just if we could pass it around and just end this game without any more fouls. And unfortunately, that's not what happens. Castor's going to get called for the foul. And that's going to put them at the line. It's going to be two free throws. We're at 60-27, 45 seconds left. It's Castor, or they call that on Troy Curtis. Castor hammered him, but Troy picks up the foul. That's his first. The second free throw is good. And let's see if we can't just get out of this game here. Wildcats are going to bring it up. Nice if they could work it around and maybe get an outside look at a three-pointer. And Castor's actually going to take that three-pointer. There's an air ball. Jaden Hansen saves it. Goes right to Edco. They're going to get it into the front court. And there's a pass inside. And the Wildcats, they just let him go straight up and get that one so that we can just get this game over with. 20 seconds to go here. See if the Wildcats can't get one more shot. Marcus Prusman brings the ball up. And they look for Jaden. Oh, Jaden Hansen tries to get it inside and then kick it out. And now the coach just says to hold the ball. So that is going to be it. And 27-64, so that fourth quarter kind of got away here for the Wildcats. They gave up 21 points just in that fourth quarter, so I think probably a little bit of getting tired, and free throws started happening there a little bit, so unfortunately there was a big burst of scoring there for Edco, and they did actually go back to their press, so you got to be impressed for the Wildcats that they forced that team to do that. Unofficially, I have Marshall with 8 and Aiden Klosterman with 5. I have Makai Benton with 10. Marcus Shellhorn contributed 2. Castor Abernathy had 2 as well, so yep, that's 27 points, so that's the scoring there for the Wildcats. Again, that's unofficial. So, hey, well, I'm glad everybody. I'm sorry we had a little technical difficulty after that girls' game, but the girls did end up winning tonight, 53-23. They were led by Sarah Reed with 26 points and Emma Fritcher with 11. And the boys fall to Edco 64-27. They were led in scoring by Makai Benton, and Marshall Vandevet had 8. So 2 tough games here. We get a win and a loss, but Wildcats, both teams played hard tonight, and you like to see that. We will be back next week when the Wildcats are at home against North Lynn. And next Friday will be our next broadcast. And as I said, we will be talking about the tournament trail, and hopefully we can bring you those tournament games once we find out where the teams are playing and who they're playing. Just one last shout out to Next Bank as our sole sponsor. We appreciate everything they do for us. So again, I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I want to thank everybody out there who listened tonight, and go Cats.